What's up, sons? It's Blind Run with Simon Tech once again, and welcome to episode 3 of Mining Rig Wars. Last week's winner was Sidcat by Alex, and you can check out that episode up here. This is also where you're going to vote, so just click above the arrow to submit your vote for this week's episode. Next week will be the finals, and of course one is going to be Alex, or the winner from the last episode, and from episode 1, Dio. So this will be the episode to determine the third, finalist for the final episode of this first series of Mining Rig Wars. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alrighty, so the first contestant, Rig A, will be Miner 1 by Mark. He's sporting an i5 2500 with a cheap $50 motherboard from eBay. I'm super curious about this. Let us know what the part number is or name that you can find on it in the description below. A PCIe 1-to-4 multiplier that's running 4 GPUs. It's an EVGA GTX 1080 Ti SC2 DOS. And then he's got a single EVGA GTX 1070 for the win, and a single Galax GTX 1070. I've still yet to get my hands on anything from Galax, so I really would be interested in grabbing that. Now, unfortunately, he did not supply the hash rate, so we're going to have to either amend it up here if he replies to my email, or put it in the comment section later on down the line. Now, it is sitting in some sort of shoe rack, which has been one of those more clever things that I've seen done, but I have seen it done before. His cabling's a mess. It's a wreck. It's a nest. It's a nest, guys. But it is functional, so there you go. There's also no mention of power supplies here, which is also a disappointment because I wish we knew exactly, which means we're probably going to start putting some more rules in here and making sure that we get hash rate, power supply, processor, GPUs, motherboard, and then we'll be good to go. I don't know if we really care that much about storage unless you're doing something clever like booting ETH OS off of a USB drive, etc. So next we have Rig B by Alejandro, and it's just going to be called Alejandro, featuring 5 Sapphire Nitro Radeon RX 580 8GB. He's got an ASRock H81 Pro BTC R2 motherboard, a single, of course, yeah, he's got a single Intel Celeron G1840 with a cheap 4GB of RAM. Props on that. Cheapest, he clarifies, which is amazing. 6 risers, and running all on a Corsair RM1000X. Once again, if I get an email before we publish this, I'll go ahead and note the hash rate in the corner here, because he also didn't supply us a hash rate in his original email. Come on, guys, let's get that going. Next is going to be Rig C by Tony, who is also a fellow YouTuber, Crypto Sky 8 on YouTube here, and we will leave a link to his YouTube channel in the description below. Be sure to head on over and check him out. He's running 9 EVGA 1050 Ti 4GB, a single gigabyte GTX 1060 3GB. I really approve of those graphics card choices with the current cost of GPUs. I can tell about when this got built, probably right after the big Ethereum bump, but that's pretty awesome. And a single RX 470 mining edition, which I've not seen those before. I would like to get a closer look than we got in his picture, so yeah, throw us a bone there, Tony. I'm sure we can check it out on the YouTube as well. He's running an Asus Z170E motherboard with an MSI Z270 Gaming Pro motherboard on top of that. So he's got a top and bottom rig running, I guess, what is a total of 11 cards currently. We could consolidate to the ASRock H110 Pro BTC Plus. You could do that and maybe save yourself some headache or sell one of those motherboards and get some money back. You've also got, what, Claymore 10, a custom built stackable open air frame, which is cool. It looks like it is built on wood. Props there. Just like myself. Wood. We use wood. It's gonna burn our houses down. Gets hot. They run hotter somehow. I don't know. 950 watt total power consumption on both rigs. No mention of the exact power supplies that he's using, but I do see what appears to be a Corsair HX 850i down there on one of the rigs, so I can tell that. And his total hash rate is 175 megahash a second. Alrighty, next we have Rig D by Theodore, and it is a biggin. It's a biggin, guys. So he is running 42 GTX 1070s, 2 GTX 1060s, and he's running all of these on a total of 5 ASRock H110 BTC Pro. Yes, sir. This motherboard right here. Motherboards. So that's awesome. He's got 4 gigs of RAM per rig. Props on that. Really min-maxing your system there. And then 5 G3930s. These are the go-to. This is what is essentially, in my book, a textbook. In my book, it's a textbook build. A textbook set of mining rigs going on here. It's impressive. Really, really good job, Theodore. Thanks for your submission. Finally, we have another fellow YouTuber, Sunny Nath, and we'll leave a link in the description below to his YouTube. I know that he's done a lot of gaming stuff, and he has been upgrading this rig. I know now he's up to about 3 cards. But here's the frame that he built so you guys can get an idea. And he's running a Ryzen chip. So he gets bonus AMD fanboy points for Ryzen 1300X CPU. I also love the 1300X as well. We're actually giving one away. I'll leave a link to the giveaway in the description below. It's going to be these up here. We have a 1500X and not a 1300X, but a 1200 for that giveaway going on. The 1300X I sent to Nerd on a Budget. If you guys haven't checked him out, definitely check him out. I'll also leave a link to his YouTube in the description below. So there you go. He's got Corsair LPX 3000 megahertz, 8 gigabytes of RAM. Too much RAM. Min-max, Sonny. Min-max. Drop it. Save some money. He messaged me today and essentially said, your channel's getting me to spend too much money getting into this mining thing. There's where you can save some money. Drop that shit. You should probably drop the 1300X too, and probably the Asus B350MA motherboard, which... Curious how you're going to put more than 3 GPUs on there, if you're going to use some breakouts or what. He did grab a PCI riser cable from eBay, and then he's running Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi on mining rigs. The insanity! Alright, it's a TP-Link N900 Wi-Fi PCI E card. Also not good. You're wasting a spot on your PCI rails there for another GPU. So, my 2 cents. So far, he's got in the rig of the pictures you're seeing a single XFX RX 480 4GB GPU. He's planning on 4 more, like I said. I think he's already got 3 more running. And I did see, and I'll link the video in the description below, that he got an amazing deal on eBay for like 80 bucks on an RX 480. Don't even know. All of us want that deal. He got it, and he has proof too in the video, which is amazing. So he also is running a Samsung 850 EVO 250 gigabytes, and I'm not sure that does, yeah, okay, so that's going to be over SATA, and then a 600 watt power supply. Planning on buying a 1000 or 1200 watt PSU. Currently I did see he's running dual power supply, so he did add another power supply for those other 3 GPUs. His hash rate on the single RX 480 is 23 mega hash a second. Alright, so that's going to wrap it up, fellas. I just did want to mention it, to go check out these fellas' YouTube channels, Crypto Sky 8 on YouTube and Sunny Nath. The description will have their info. So please go check them out. Give them a like. Tell them you're coming from the Sons of Rage or something like that. I don't know. Make it clever. Come up with something. The Sons of Crypto. That's what it is. That's in the intro or something, right? And don't forget to vote up in the corner here. Leave a like. Leave a comment of what you thought about the rigs. Leave some questions for the fellas if you have any questions about any of the rigs in particular. And as always, I will see you next Tuesday. Oh, and I forgot, my Bitcoin and Ethereum address is in the description below. I don't like begging for handouts, but what I'm going to say is that I put a lot of work into these videos. I put a lot of work into this series in particular. So if you want to put